Hello and welcome to Medical Minds. I am your host, Jonna. I am a senior at Commonwealth University Lock Haven campus. I will be graduating this Saturday with my bachelor's in health science with a PA concentration, as well as a minor in psychology. I am in Lock Haven's 3+2 PA program, so I will also be beginning my master's degree late this May. Ever since high school, I knew I wanted to work in healthcare. Actually, from a really young age, I knew I wanted to work in healthcare, but ever since middle school, high school, I was dead set on becoming a physician assistant. But coming to college, I realized not everybody had this same track and path and course or clear-cut answer as to what they wanted to become. But after shadowing and working in healthcare, I realized so many people come from different paths or decide to do different paths later on in life. I know so many people who are RNs who are in ASN or BSN, or they started as one and then became the other, and some people who did it right out of high school. Some people do it accelerated, and others wait until later in life when they take care of a sick loved one and then realize they have a love for healthcare. So I realized that there are so many ways and so many paths to end up at the same career and doing what you love and helping others. I also learned that there's so many more jobs in healthcare than I ever could have realized. People who are working in the OR or behind the scenes, or people who are more direct or behind the scenes with your medical billing or whatever. There's so many different paths that you can choose. And if I knew that some of these other jobs existed when I was in high school and applying to colleges, maybe I wouldn't have ended up as a PA. So I'm starting this podcast for the people who maybe are looking for a job in healthcare or don't know where they want to go, or to realize maybe the path that you're on is just a means to a different end than what you realize because you find something else that you love. But having this revelation of all these different paths may end up in the same endpoint, and this class that I'm taking made me realize I want to talk about it. I want to talk about how you can have so many different careers and you can love your career. You can have one and then change to another. I, having worked in medicine, going to school for medicine, have practically nothing else to talk about. So what better things to talk about with my friends who also only have medicine to talk about than to start a podcast and talk to them, bring on some guests, and share how medicine impacts their lives and why they chose to work in medicine, as well as them bringing on some guests and having them talk about some of their stories that people who've never worked in an emergency room would never believe. I also want to touch base on some new advancements in medicine, like new hip replacements or new robots, or what different vaccines that we have, and possibly the great advancements that we have, but also what are those drawbacks to those same things? What side effects could they be causing? What could be the cost associated with it? How can that affect people? I want to also talk about what the future of healthcare looks like, what our world looks like post-COVID. How is the hospital running differently? How are the people who have been working in healthcare much longer than me? I've only worked in healthcare post-COVID. So how has healthcare changed over time? Where do we see healthcare going? So whether you're in high school and you're trying to protect your career path, or you're a seasoned nurse, sit back, grab a cup of coffee. I know you need it. Prepare to have a laugh as we talk all things medical each week right here on Medical Minds. Thanks. That's all for now.